Howdy, it's Jim Morado in Columbia, Tennessee. This is the middle of January 2021. We stopped by here recently. This is a bit south of Nashville. It's not far from Franklin. Just to me, this is one of my favorite little towns in Tennessee. Very walkable. We always go downtown and park. Like a lot of cute little Tennessee towns, there's just a nice downtown area situated around a courthouse or a monument, a courthouse in this case. But this is just a really pretty town with a lot of history, connection to the President Polk, and there's a house tour you can do here, the Polk House and Museum. We didn't do that on this trip, but we've done it before, and we've done a lot of presidential tours, and it's definitely one of our favorites. We had a great guide. Yeah, that's just something cool they've got going on. To me, a really cool downtown area is one that has a cool bookstore, nice restaurants, and at least one really cool coffee shop. And Columbia hits all of those marks easy. Yeah, so anyway, we were driving around and we stop here in a little bit. Oh, lots of yeah, some nice antique shops too, little ice cream shop. I could go on and on. We've not been into any of the businesses through here that we've not liked. They're all cute. They're locally proud. They're independent. This is just a pretty area with a lot of heart, and we like this little town a lot. Yeah, like I said, we just kind of drove through. A couple places stick out to me because I just really like them. There's one place that we stopped at last time we were here for lunch, and we loved it. And we said next time we're in town, we got to stop there again because it was so good. So we're making a couple of extra laps around the square just to give you an idea of what's going on. There's Ted's, and that is their sign is upside down. If you notice, Ted's, the word Ted is upside down, and that's kind of iconic for this area. In fact, that might be one of the most iconic things you remember from here when you go. And that's just a cute little store, kind of an outdoorsy hunting, camping, fishing kind of store. My dad would have loved that store. Got a couple of their t-shirts. They have some just cute t-shirts that I like, so I've picked those up. Yeah, there's a record shop here in town too I wanted to mention, which I think is just really neat that they've got just kind of a classic record shop. Again, nice antique shops. I found some Viewmaster reels in one of them, and I thought that was a pretty cool find. Kind of antique shops where you're gonna, if you're looking for something or if you're not looking for anything in particular, you're gonna find it either way. But yeah, just nice old buildings with some age and history to them, and yeah, again, I just think this is a really pretty little town. I wanted to mention too about the Polk House, that it's basically the only known residence other than the White House where James Polk lived, because his other homes were destroyed. One right in Nashville. In fact, he was buried at that property. It's been knocked over. It's not far from the courthouse, and he's buried right now at the courthouse. So just really interesting history with Polk. Not much of his clothing is left either, and that's an interesting story. But I think they've got the last of what's left there. Oh yeah, and so right now we're inside of Ted's, and they have some great taxidermy up everywhere, and you can just check that out. I mean, it looks like the kind of place. I know growing up in Western Kentucky, we would go to Uncle Lee's. And now places like the Bass Pro Shop. You've got big stores that kind of cater to the hunting and fishing and camping crowd. But in little areas like Columbia, you've got Ted's, and I believe Ted's has been there, I want to say since 1955, if I remember reading correctly. But it's just a neat little store to walk into, and I like it a lot. I like what they're doing. It's they know Columbia, Tennessee. They know Tennessee, And this is the kind of place I know a lot of my buddies would love to visit this place. And it's just got a cool, friendly vibe going on. So yeah, I like Ted's quite a bit. And there's their little courthouse right in the middle of everything. And again, there's just a nice little circle of shops through here. And a lot of these we haven't even walked into, but there's so many. And oh yeah, we're walking over right now to that little lunch place that I mentioned. And this is Square Market and Cafe. Square Market and Cafe. I had a bowl of soup. It was tomato, I think tomato and artichoke, and it was so good. And I had half of a Reuben. And this is just one of those places that you stumble on it, and they are doing everything right. My wife and our friend that was with us this particular day, they love their meals. You leave there feeling full, but you don't feel like you just gorged yourself on something unhealthy. You feel like you ate something healthy and delicious. And we just love this place. It is so cozy. It's just, yeah, there's what I had. Oh my gosh, that's some of the best soup I've ever had, period. And I eat a lot of soup. I'm big on soup. And this was the exact meal I had the last time we were here too, because it was so good. And the next time I go to Colombia, well, I'll be going there for the same meal again. It's just something special, obviously. Yeah, and just walking around the square a little more. Just a nice peaceful little place there. There's several coffee shops here, and by the way, their nickname is the Mule Town. I think they call themselves the Mule Capital of the world, and I'm not sure how that started, but there is Muletown Coffee right here on the square. Like that place a lot. Really nice coffee shop. And there's another coffee shop that I like in town too. It's I had them pulled up a moment ago. There's Muletown Roasted Coffee, and there's Buckhead Coffee. I believe there's a couple of other coffee shops in town, but Buckhead, it's not on the square. It's a little bit further out of downtown, but we like it quite a bit too. Just two nice, cozy coffee shops where they're making some good coffee. And like I said, they have a great bookstore, and this is Duck River Books. They were called something else the first time we ever stopped in Columbia. I forget the name of it, but it's pretty much the same bookstore. I think they just changed their names. They've had authors actually autograph some of their shelves. I think that is awesome. But this is they've got a nice local selection. They've got other book accessories and that sort of thing. This is, yeah, I always find something when I'm here. They've got autographed books, used books, new books. Just a cute bookstore. And I like what they're doing. They're right on the square too. And it's just, again, another perfect little shop here in Columbia. Yeah, and you can see that they've had some significant names come through here and autograph their bookshelves. So I think that's pretty neat. And we're walking again. Yeah, and just looking at the old label scarring and the old images that were painted on the building still kind of there, as they are kind of fading off too. And I was just looking at Wikipedia, just because it's just a good generic source of information. They, in 2002, let's see, Stewie was filmed in Columbia and Nashville. The film Daltrey Calhoun, I never saw that, starring Johnny Knoxville, was filmed in Columbia and Spring Hill in 2004. I might have to look that up. In 2009, Hannah Montana, the movie, was filmed in spots in downtown Columbia, at Maury County Airport, and a local dairy farm. Other local area film locations are also the Franklin High School and nearby Franklin and Nashville. Well, I think that's pretty interesting. And yeah, again, just driving around Just a very pleasant little town. This is the kind of place where, if I had to retire somewhere and there was a house available, I'm sure property values haven't gone nuts in this area. I assume they haven't. It's close to Nashville, though. But this would be a great little place to retire. This would be a great area to walk, just to kind of go and walk around on the weekends, just for the heck of it. Yeah, like we didn't walk into that shop, but that's like I'm looking at that going, why didn't we go in there? That place looks pretty cool. I know there was a pop place and a chocolate place and an ice cream place that we walked into that all looked interesting. Yeah, I just my sweet tooth wasn't going that particular day, or we probably would have gone a little more crazy. I did have a Reuben for lunch though, so I wanted to be careful about not snacking, not getting an ice cream or a piece of pie afterwards because I'd really caloried it up already. But yeah, just a pretty town. So much going on, lots of nice shops, lots to do. Close to Nashville, close to Franklin. I think there's so much coolness in Tennessee. There's just places that aren't on the map in general. When you talk about when you talk about Tennessee, people talk about going to Nashville, going to Gatlinburg, maybe Memphis. And I think there's a lot of these neat little towns that almost get squeezed off the charts. If you're going to Tennessee and you've only got a day or two, you're probably going to go to Nashville or Memphis. But there's some of these great little towns that get overlooked, and Columbia is definitely one of them. I just with Ted's and everything else, it's just so nice.